way, so if you need anything, just hit us up.
Okay, sweet.
We'll bring you food.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Jollibee.
There's such a good Chinese, but I don't think you'll have. When's your flight out?
It's tomorrow morning. Right?
Tomorrow morning?
Like 7 a.m.
No, it's cool that we're going to Skoop actually, because what happened last night is I tore out of my pants.
No way.
Yeah, from the butt end, and I only noticed this morning when I was.
No way.
And I'm gonna go on Australian tour next.
Right straight from here?
From here, like 2 weeks in Australia, and I was looking at my pants thinking,
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna make it in Australia. Oh shit.
I don't know what happened, so
That's what they paid to see.
Yeah, yep.
might need some Skoop pants.
So,
How did you come across Skoop?
Well, actually, it was John's page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I clicked on it and I saw you did an interview with them, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm so sorry.
I need clothes.
I grew up with my mom saying vagina is a books. And when I saw the video and I saw the upside down P, I was like,
okay.
wait a second, what's going on?
Yeah, it was
And I wanted
Because
to
it
know
looks
more.
like boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, okay, let me check this out. But it's a cool brand.
Oh, and then he said, I like what they stand for, Pooks.
Yeah, it seems like a community thing. I like it.
Yeah, Skoop
just take it
community. I actually started it's in what now, season?
there. Like 17 or 18.
Yeah, it's in season 17. Season 1 started in 2017.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That was it started as a nightlife brand. So all of his influencers were all DJs.
Yeah.
Now it's sort of transitioned into like the pop music side.
Yeah, gaming. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
gaming as well. They're doing gaming, a lot of gaming. Yeah, they have good stuff. So yeah, just feel free. You can get as many pants as you want.
Sweet.
In case there's a ripping hazard again in Australia.
Ripping hazard.
Yeah. I remembered
Are those your only performance pants?
the leather
Yes.
pants, the leather black ones.
It was gray.
Oh, the gray one. Because I remember you had the leather black ones on in base trip last year. Because I specifically have those same pants, or at least it looks the same. It's from Bershka.
God bless.
And you're hitting Australia, then going back home after.
Yep. So that's right.
Where do you come from?
New York.
New York. Okay. Or you're based in New York now.
Yes.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So cute. I saw your collab with your son.
Thank you.
You're back to back. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's all grown up.
Yeah, it's wild.
Remember we were talking about that, how when we had kids, the
Yeah.
first thing you're teaching them is how to produce.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't force any of this. See, my older son, he's into gaming.
Oh, really?
He's in college now for video game design.
Oh, no way.
The one you had,
That's so
you have this song with the second one.
Yes,
Oh,
the
okay.
second one. So he just started producing like 2 years ago.
No way.
But he's been DJing for a while.
No, not at all.
Oh really?
So actually, he's just starting to DJ now. I still give him lessons. Yeah.
Now it's come full circle.
Yeah.
Here yata.
Yeah. Oh, but that's gonna be so fun because he has all the tips and tricks and producing.
Yeah, and his dad is the most educational.
Yeah, person he could get info on.
You know what? Everyone that meets him tells him that. Like, he was with me at Tomorrowland for the last couple of years, and he doesn't want to hear it
Oh, no way.
because I'm just the dad.
Oh, that's also very true.
I'm just the dad, and he's like, I don't want to learn from my dad.
Oh.
And then I'll force him to, like, hey, we gotta look into your Ableton. Hey, we gotta look into your DJing. He's like, okay.
You're gonna ask him to, you have to EQ it right here. But no, it doesn't work that way for me.
Does he have the same taste and genre?
Yeah, he does. Actually, he started making drill music first.
Okay.
Like all the
Nice.
rap stuff. And then he kind of fell out of love with it and started producing house music.
House music.
Everyone just goes back to house one way or
It's
the
because
other.
of the heartbeat.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think there's something there because the BPM is just like higher than a regular heart rate, just a little bit. So it really
nice. Connects.
Yeah.
Should we start listening to music?
Maybe we could. So we prepared a couple of
where is it?
Tracks from Filipino producers. We just asked them to send some stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'll just listen to it, and we won't name any names. We'll just give you the name of the artist and the title of the song after.
Okay.
So you go to files, and then it's under audio.
And you know Dutch people are very honest, right?
Yeah.
So
yep.
It's gonna be
not gonna get any better feedback than now.
Okay. How do I connect yours?
I just need to plug it in using my cable. What is your? I remember you told me that your last time in the Philippines before base trip was a bit of a long time. Oh no, it was also when we saw you in
Amsterdam.
No, in the Philippines in Okada in the Cove.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the Cove. Yeah.
The Cove. That was like 2016, 2017.
Oh shit. Okay. That's our intro. Okay, you ready? Ready for the first one?
Go. First song.
Okay, this is the first song. I actually don't know who this is.
Oops. It just keeps going back. Not this, definitely not this one.
Yeah, but how do you stop that?
There, just play it.
That's a demo of Martin Garrix in Africa. So I'll turn up the speakers.
You can put up the volume because it switches to.
Why is it going back?
Oh, there. Now you can play it.
Angelica, you're a horrible teacher.
I know. This is why I'm a VJ. Why is it not? Why is it
So
going
you
back
don't
to
when
this?
you play it, you need play never touch this. Like never ever.
Okay.
Don't touch the button.
Yeah.
This is it. Final. I haven't even heard any of these songs.
I kind of listened to it. There's some good ones in it. There's put like 4 or 5 songs on it. So this is one thing that I started to notice the longer I produce, right? Like, let's say for example, especially for dubstep, you have elements that you put distortion on, right? But when it comes to the mix, there are also kind of levels of distortion that you have to balance out with other elements, right? So you can just use one distortion for all the tracks. Yeah, but anyway, that song was
Zaiten.
Zaiten. It's by Zaiten, and then the title was...
It's called You Guessed It.
You guessed it. There you go. What do you think, really?
Okay. Well, I think it's interesting. I love the vibe. It's dark, and it does scream for a vocal.
Yeah.
It's interesting you said dubstep, because I can see that because of the sounds being used, but then the beats were very much trap.
Trap, yeah.
So there's a difference there. If you want to be in dubstep, you should use like more rocky type of drums instead of the 808 hits.
Yeah.
My biggest advice in here would be to not have that 808 bass going the way it's going. So right now it's going in a very trap method, and then you have the dubstep sounds on top. Usually in dubstep, the sounds on top, the lower layer does the exact same thing. Then you hear the low end goes, which makes the whole thing really cohesive.
Gotcha.
So now we had it was just like a mix of a trap song and a dubstep vibe. But overall, that vibe, amazing, creepy. And I think that if you melt the bass line with the sounds, that's gonna add more like tempo in it. and more energy.
Gotcha. So when the kick and the subs go with the beat of the wubs, is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
It's gonna be bouncier and it's gonna work better for a
Yeah.
festival and a club. And
Definitely listen to Skrillex's old dubstep tracks.
Yeah.
Scary
where
Monsters.
he did that a lot. Where you hear just a lot of squeaky sounds, but it always sounds heavy, and that's because of all the squeaky sounds are being followed with the bass line.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. Maybe I have a quick question on. You touched on it, like balancing, picking between genres, right? So, is it still possible to have a trap song, but with dubstep elements mixed right? Or do you have to choose either?
That would be interesting, but it has to be done right. It has to be exactly in that type of pocket, because otherwise you'll just end up somewhere in between that it doesn't make sense. But when you do that, see, because that's why I'm saying a rapper. If this would have a rap vocal or some auto-tune type of vocal, you lean a little bit more into the trap corner, and then you layer it with dubstep sounds. But still, I would add the bass to the sounds.
Yeah. You still need to give space for the dubstep elements with a sub to come in at the right time.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So there you have it, Zaiden. So super cool stuff.
Just a disclaimer moving forward, I'm not gonna give any advice because I'm not in music.
Oh, you know, trivia. She's the one who does all the crate digging.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the.
Yeah, but
sounds,
when he asks me like, why do you like this song, and I try to explain to him the melodies, he's like, you're using all the words wrong. So don't ever speak to anyone about music production.
I have a little secret for you, Angelica, because I know you are a visual type of person.
Yeah.
I see music as visuals.
Yeah, colors.
Oh,
There's
colors. Okay, yeah. What is that called?
You call it. There's a condition for it. Skrillex has the same thing.
Where you see sound as colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see colors. I see actually pictures. Like so, I have a photographic memory when it comes to tracks, and I see it's like almost like a painting or an album cover.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. That makes it a lot easier for you to do all the graphics and marketing stuff. This is like decision making down the road.
Mine, it's more of like color orbs dancing, so that they have
Orbs
dance moves.
dancing,
They have
I
like
love
dance moves. So it goes. So when I make my visuals, I time the speed to the dance moves that the colors are doing.
There we go.
Yeah.
VJing is already also like dancing.
But just so in case you guys are wondering why I won't speak for the next couple of songs. Next?
Yeah. Well, yeah. On a side note, like mine's an oscilloscope. Is that what you call it? Like,
Wow.
I mean,
so you see the waveforms.
I could imagine like how wide a thing is and like where it's sounding. Well, that's just how I picture the sounds in my head. There you go.
Very cool.
We need to look up what these terms are called.
Yeah. Well, we have Kuya Luke to give us the 101. Next song.
Next up, I actually love this DJ so much, but I haven't heard a single prod of his, so this is gonna be interesting.
Wait, let's try to put the volume up more.
Okay, go.
And then go.
Ako simple lang, triple ways ko chibag pero dito maarte. Sandalan ko, balikat ko ng pivot mong dominante.
I know what this is.
Bitch mong nabalibot lang, dito panaginip lang. Ang playa boy, di lang alata kasi low-key shit tumatake. Guess what? I only fuck with a bitch with price. You're the shit and drama. Better be safe with the elbow slice. Lagi sinabi ni mama, ginawa ko sa big. Kahit palagi nasa dyan kinakama. Oh boy, I'm fresh. Natagit ko, isa palang stunner. Fresh, the stunner. Aking nagkama, baby, fresh. 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 The stunner. Aking nagkama, baby.
EDM house, 140 EDM.
Well, yeah, it's
Genre-less. There
okay,
you
so my first question, I guess fresh means akinakama. What is that?
Akin ang kama.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if those are the lyrics. It means the bed is mine.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with fresh.
Nothing to do with fresh.
Okay. Well, I love the Asian influences in there.
Yeah.
The little Asian melody, it's
was-
great.
Oh,
And
the,
so
the flutes and the...
Yeah. And obviously the voice is very cool. I was very happy to hear a rap on it. The genre, the first genre, it is drill, because it has the little shuffle influence. I would have loved to hear more of the drill bass line going like up and down,
Okay.
how they do it. And then it switched to a 4x4.
Yeah.
And that is a weak part in the song. Although I love the
okay.
switch. But you see the production method becomes different when you go 4x4. So for instance, what we always do in a 4x4 is we always pierce the kick through the bass line. And so when we heard the drill section, this happened naturally because they produce this on a regular.
Drill, yeah.
And then when you heard the 4x4, the bass line was flopping everywhere in the mix, like high frequencies, right within the kick, and we just carve out the kick drum with the bass line.
So you were saying that the tail of the kick from the drill segment being used in the 4 and the floor part, it's bleeding onto the next punch of or the hit of the next kick.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. And so what we often do is just put sidechain compressor, or in my case I use track spacer a lot, and which is always triggered by the kick, so it doesn't matter how much it bleeds, the kick will always punch through. So that's a bit of advice there. I say maybe make it a little bit more drill, and especially with the bass line. I love it when the bass goes an octave up and has the glide and that sort of thing. But other than that, super fun, super awesome, great energy.
What are your thoughts? Because like this is another track that you have 2 genres in it, right? Like say the first one. So what are your thoughts on having, as you said, like one genre, but then switching it up in the second drop?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's tricky, and I hear this, and obviously also on like a Beyonce album or Drake album, where all of a sudden rap producers try to make house beats and that sort of thing. It would be the same as if I would try and make trap or drill. It wouldn't sound the same. Like it would sound like, oh, this producer, I'm trying to produce drill beats, and it's not authentic.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which I don't want to motivate anyone. But if you do it, you can't just do it. Like you need to dive into the actual DNA of
the genre.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. So I think that's a very like key insight that a lot of producers, like especially me, like have to get in terms with, right? Because like when you're starting out, I think there's a lot of exploration that's going on, which is good, right? Because it's you finding your genre, like figuring out like what to do next. Is this gonna be like my forever sound and all of that stuff? But when it comes to, I think, especially getting songs signed to a label, or at least collaborating with another artist who's looking for a specific genre, there is that, as you said, like there's that DNA that has to be in that track for it to make sense, one on the radio, second on the dance floor, and also like for other producers to actually like appreciate it as a full song.
Yeah. Well, see, it's very simple. I can produce anything I want, because everything is programmable, and you get sound packs everywhere. But the one genre you got good at, you invested at least 5 years to learn how to produce that, and now you all of a sudden want to switch it up like in a matter of a week or a matter of a day, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I can produce 4x4, and unfortunately it doesn't work that way, because you'll just hear it.
Yeah. So guys, make sure to download the right sample packs.
That, by the way, was Be With Price by Nicky Montes featuring Jay Bourgeoisie.
Good track.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Can you mid-check if we're recording? How do you know?
I think it's blinking red.
How can Okay, next track.
There you go.
Kinda reminds me of like 2015.
You have Prog House,
Yeah.
by the beach, Boracay.
Good vibes. Good vibes for sure. Love the piano, love the melodies in there. Few notes, just a few notes. I did like it when the piano switched from being long chords into shorter
Yeah.
chords. Here's some advice about the bass line. Because my golden rule for the bass line is the kick and the bass always need to wrestle a little bit, but the kick always wins. And this is how
Kick
you
always
know
wins.
you can put your bass lines at a proper level. So right now the bass line is a little bit low in volume, and usually this is the driving force with the kick drum in dance music. So you're actually waiting for it to happen, and then it comes, and then it didn't really come. And and
No
so,
pun intended.
so yeah, so put the bass line up. You have plenty of space there, and I think it's interesting what you did with the violin.
Yeah, I think the
Violin
part.
I
revealed-
love that.
The violin revealed to me your unique sound and your unique character, because the rest was kind of like, oh, let me try and make a so and so type of track, and this is what you're looking for. And every track from now on is like, okay, so what is it that is really authentically me that I can put in a track? So there we have it. And yeah, that sounded so almost awkward but cool, the violin. You can definitely lean more into that.
That was my favorite part also.
Yeah, the violin was cool.
Yeah, and that's my my critique. I think you can, in the breakdown, you could switch back to the long chords of the piano again, and then go back into the choppy piano in the drop.
And when would you say a track would need vocals? Let's see, for example, in this one, right? If you're in the 2012, 2015 era, progressive house songs without vocals work all the time.
Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up, because this screams for a vocal.
Yeah.
It screams for some singer, some female singer to do something on it, for sure. Yeah.
But do you think instrumentals or stuff like these, right? Like a Prog House, maybe even trance, that are just purely just all instrumental the whole time. Do you think that still works nowadays?
Yeah, I mean,
On
why
the dance
not?
floor?
Just to what you said, Boracay vibes, beach house doesn't necessarily need to have a
That's
vocal.
true.
But
That's true.
like, if you would add a vocal, the question is, if you would add a vocal, would it actually add something? And in this case, I think yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would definitely be a 1+1 type of thing.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of artists who are going to want to hop on that track. That's going to be super cool. Huh. One thing that I've noticed for the past 3 songs is how do you say it? Like a structure wise, or like the flow of the track, right? So ideally it's like you have the intro, then you have the verse, then you have the build up, then you have the drop. And I think that's as you said, right? That's part of the DNA of dance music, right? Because you can get as creative as you want. You can throw in as many genres as possible, and you might have a good song, but I guess it depends at the end of the day, like what your intention for the track is. Are you going to be playing it in your sets, or is this going to be I don't know, like something that you listen to in the car or stuff like that, right? What are your thoughts on like structures and?
Yeah, it also depends if we're listening to the edit or if it's the extended version. And indeed, there's plenty of possibilities there. You can also make an extended version and then cut it down to 2 minutes for the edit or whatever. So up until now, the structure has been great. Like nothing crazy happening, nothing weird happening. So I think naturally all of these producers have been on point.
Yeah. Well, right. Let's say for all of these guys, though, these guys are from the different parts of the Philippines, from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and I would say like right now, at least in the music production scene, there's slowly getting noticed. It's been challenging, like how the Philippines is always catching up to trends. But now we've slowly started seeing a lot of producer DJs, getting residencies, be able to play festivals, getting signed on major music labels like Warner and all that stuff, right? So the Philippines, I think there's a lot of talent, but we are still very early, and it's still very raw, right? And there's a lot of like these kinds of stuff, right? So it's really cool that you guys had the it was an AMA and a masterclass, if I'm not mistaken, right? In Bohol. Oh
no, that's on Sunday, so not yet.
Oh, on Sunday. There you have it.
Monday, yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see. So we were actually supposed to see you at, was it Wired Music Week in 2020. You were supposed to be headlining there, but in Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
And it got cancelled by the
because of the pandemic. Yeah. No,
but Kuya Luke was supposed to give a panel, right?
Yeah, you were one of the speakers, right, as well, in Wired Music Week. But yeah, I mean, we were so devastated hearing about it because we go there every year. So we've been there for like 3 years. That's where we've been also able to meet a lot of other producers on our at our age, our batch, and our skill level as well. That's where we were able to collaborate and getting to play in spots outside the Philippines. What are your thoughts on music conferences? Let's say, for example, ADE and stuff like that.
Music conferences are great, but I would advise you to go there if you actually have something to offer.
Yeah.
Because you meet all of these people, and it's like they are genuinely interested, and especially if you can actually back it up. If you have the numbers, if you have the platform, if you have the demos, like, hey, do you like this demo? Yes, I do. Well, I have 7 more where that came from, and furthermore, this is the bigger vision that we have. This is what we do. And so just to go there to attend panels is fine, but it'll be more productive for you if you can actually bring something to the table.
I love that you mentioned, Relic. You bring your demos, you have ideas, but what stuck out is what's the bigger picture, right? So like that's also one thing that maybe us, when we were starting out, is like going to events, going to conferences, and just having a couple of tracks that we've been working on, and then thinking that when the right person hear this song, then that's it. The story, that's where the journey begins, and the rest is going to be history. Like it's going to change the trajectory of our careers, but it actually doesn't work that way, right?
No, man. I have so much to say about all of this. Well, first of all, let me rewind a little bit. People in things and the culture here, you guys have so much more ahead than the Western culture, because in the Western culture, maybe 1 out of 5 people is musical. In the Filipino culture, everyone sings, everyone plays the guitar. There's so many amazing and talented people here. Producing and learning how to produce should be easy for all of you, and especially way easier than all the Western people. So I'm shocked, and I need to kick you guys in the butt a little bit, because you don't need to play catch up with the Western world. Actually, you need to take that, run with it, and do your own thing. You guys don't need to imitate, you know, whatever's going on.
I think that is the sickness of our culture as well, is that we just imitate, or we tend to see something working from someone else or from another country. It's like a colonial mentality. We like being colonized. So no, it's true. We've been colonized thrice.
Yeah.
But we do have that mentality where if the Westerners do it, it's something we just copy from them.
Now let me one up you there. And mind you, I'm half Filipino, right?
Yeah.
So I love you guys. But there's a problem with being Filipino as well, is that you guys tend, and this is in your DNA, tend to not think bigger picture.
Yeah, that's so true.
You guys think day by day.
And it's short term.
Yeah, it's short term.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do this show, let me just get through the day and see whatever happens next. No, it's not it. So this is the key. The Westerners, they think bigger picture. They invest years and years and years before they make it. And then when they make it, there is always another bigger picture. And this is how you can work towards a very big dream, not being satisfied with what's happening now, and only doing the small things. This is the bigger picture things will give you bigger success.
Could it be an effect of being in a third world country and not being supported totally by the government? So every day they're just
like
fighting.
K-pop or something.
It's a day by day thing for them.
But it's easy to blame someone.
Yeah.
And I've helped students of mine that were from the third world countries. For instance, Moscow from Colombia, and he wasn't even in the big city. Angger Dimas from Jakarta.
Yeah, Angger Dimas.
These people were no one in a country that no one cared about. And the world is your oyster, really. You don't need to be trapped in this type of local mentality.
That's true.
So I want to, again, kick you in the butt there, because there's so many possibilities and so much more. You can just grab it.
Speaking of BSK, so this is this is the hottest club right now in the Philippines.
There we go.
They just opened.
They just opened, maybe not even a year old.
Not even 6 months.
The one thing that they did that they're doing differently is that they just. So here's the thing, right? Like we're talking about like cookie cutters and imitating and all that stuff. So the one thing that this club did that has never been done before in the Philippines is the LED wall. Instead of being 16:9 ratio landscape, they made it in a portrait.
And it goes down.
And it tilts down.
Sick.
Yeah. So now all of the kids, all of the new ravers are dying to get in that club. It's packed.
That one with the 2 circles that look like boobies.
Yeah, the LEDs. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, 100%. I totally agree. But yeah, that's one thing that I think as well that Filipino producers should start looking into is what's the bigger picture, right? Like, what do you want out of the brand? What do you want out of your music, right? Is it you just want to get one song signed to a record label, and then what's the next step, right? Because I mean, it happens to everyone. Like, you think that if you get signed to this label, that label, then you're gonna make it. Or if
you have a release on this label,
that you're gonna make it.
No.
Right? But what after? Like, what's the plan after? Right? It also has to come from the artist.
Yeah. And your plan needs to be bigger than the record label.
Yeah, exactly. There's one thing that kind of like us, like help us really, that really helped us during, especially the pandemic, is that so we had to, so we've been producing and doing shows for maybe I'd say like 8 years before the pandemic, 7-8 years. But then we were in that loop of just, you know, grinding it out, just putting out as much music as possible, like talking to all the labels and all that stuff. But when the pandemic happened, I shifted, not really shifted, but I took a job in gaming, in Web3, and it was a startup. And one thing that I realized was that if you start to consider, at least for me or our brand, if you start to consider your music brands as startups as well, then the whole thing changes. Like now we look at it as
a business.
Not only, of course, as a business, we're in the music business, right? But at the same time, it's also like how startups work. Like, what kind of help do you need? What kind of teammates do you need? Like where are you at? Do you need to do social media marketing now, or do you have to put out a mixtape? Do you need to do a photo shoot? Do you need to start, or do you need a guy to start talking to clubs and stuff like that, right? Like, you wouldn't usually like realize if you're at home, you know, just on the computer and just producing beats. Like, it's something that you learn when you get out of that room. And her, Angelica, and us, our friends, I was that type of guy. When I was starting out, just at home the whole time, just playing computer games while making music on my dual screens. And they were the ones who's like, hey, John, you have to go out. You have to talk and meet other DJs. You have to collab with other producers. So I think that's pretty cool. How was it for you when you were starting out? How was that, you know, first few friends that you made? Because I knew you were Laidback Luke. The Laidback Luke brand was very active in the forums.
Yeah, well, this was after I launched, so I have my success to thank for to my big mentor, Gaston from Chocolate Puma, who I basically latched on as a teenager. I was 15 years old.
What?
Yeah, and he took me under his wing. He saw talent in me, and he developed me.
Oh, he was your kuya.
Yeah, for sure, and still is. But thanks through him, I started my own record label, and they had an amazing distribution set up already, a big mailing list, big DJs. And so very shortly after I started releasing music, all of these famous DJs got their hands on my tracks, and it happened to me. So I was very lucky and blessed there. And then I decided to do what he did for me, to do that for all like up and coming talent, because I loved it. I'm naturally like a natural born teacher, so I love passing on my experience. And so this happened then, that my guest book on my website, there were young producers there asking me all of these production questions, and I was like, hey, this is fun, let me hop on the guest book and answer these questions. And this became such a long thread that we needed to switch that into a forum with sections and bigger threads and that sort of thing. And so it very organically started to exist there.
And how do you listen to each other's songs back then? So you just upload it as a file, and then they have it downloaded in there, and then listen to it.
Yeah, shout out Zippy Share.
Yeah.
Zippy Share.
I used to use Zippy Share a lot. Yeah.
Zippy Share DJs was a best friend of mine as well.
Hey, nice.
For a long time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think you're absolutely on the money there when you say see it as a business, see it as a startup. Because all the successful DJs you see do not function without a team. Even some teams are bigger, some teams are smaller, but everyone that's successful has a team, has a booking agent, has a manager, has a PR agent, record label, having people run their social media. You know, it's a whole operation.
Yep. 100%. I think we still have one more track.
Yeah, also that track I forgot to mention.
Oh, the artist.
I hope I'm saying this right. Rediscover.
Yeah.
REDSCVR. That's Rediscover, right?
Yeah.
That's Baroque by Rediscover. Okay, down to our last song.
Oh, we should have
Ours.
You're not supposed to say it.
Oh.
You're supposed to save it and just let Kuya
Here's the
Luke
best demo ever
Yeah.
by a secret duo.
Yeah. We're gonna,
One is doing the visuals and the other one is into gaming.
and then we're gonna talk up our song so much, not saying that it was us.
Okay, wait. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to say it. But anyway, this isn't ours yet.
Yeah.
You have one last song.
Nah. Damn.
Area 032 by Jezreel. Okay?
Okay. Oh, I don't think I've heard this. I put a sub in that and then side chain it in a kick. Does it have a sub?
This is good. I love it.
Nice touch on the fucking tambourine. There you go.
Take it to the top, don't stop, get down.
Oh, there's another club here. One of the longest running clubs, Silo. You might know the guys, Ace Ramos, Pao. Those are the guys that you
Palace
play
group.
with back then. The Palace Group and Sonic Music Festival.
Quintino's their main
You know,
dude, right?
big club. Good track.
Take it to the top, don't stop, get down.
This is so good. This is so much better than the Stradano demo we're gonna listen to next, because this is gonna be hard to
Yeah,
top.
we shouldn't have played this song.
Good. This one was good, Jezreel.
Yeah, applause. I'm blown away by this. Mix down the Asian influence, then the proggy drop with like bass house influences, then the second build into the drop with the chords. That's crazy.
That was good.
That's crazy. So there's just a couple of minor things that I want to talk about. So I would lean more into the proggy type of feel, where you might want to listen to the build-ups and the structure of how it's done in like the cooler house sections. So for instance, all the breakdowns are really empty when it comes to beats. And I can recommend you there just to have a light kick drum and a light bass line just keeping on going through. So we don't have these
you don't lose that.
Downtimes.
whole fields
Yeah.
of emptiness. And this is just a small tweak, right? But the biggest problem is this track is amazing, super unique, and I'm just thinking, what label would sign this? Like, I'm good friends with the people of Stamped Records.
Oh shit.
But if they would listen to it, would they get it, and would they sign it? Now, let's just say the answer is no.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Will you get demotivated? Will you think
Yeah.
your track sucks and your production suck and
You
will
just
never
release
make
it by yourself. Stuff like that.
Furthermore, you can send this to 5 more labels and they'll say, yeah, this is not for us.
Yeah.
So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind because this is so unique. You might actually want to consider like putting this out yourself or putting it as a download somewhere and try and see if you can email it to DJs to have it spread organically.
Yeah.
But I won't want you to get demotivated. Furthermore, you are onto something here. Asian, aggressive, bass house. This is something unique, and this is the bigger picture. If you keep on doing this for another 2 or 3 years,
Mhm.
then you'll attract everyone, and you'll be like the new Maddox. All of a sudden,
yeah.
Addicts.
You're
yeah.
there. And everyone is trying to copy you, which right now no one is interested. But then if you keep this up, keep on developing this, this could be huge.
Okay, so quick question. So let's say for this guy, Jezreel, right? He has a really good track. He knows how to mix. Where does the I have to get this mixed by someone else come in? Or the record label has the mix it to be at the best shape possible? Or can he just, will a record label release it as is?
It depends. If they think the sound sounds good, and from what I can judge, this sounds top notch.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not say like, oh, have it mixed again or something.
Mm-hmm.
And furthermore, as an artist, I think you should always have the right to be able to listen to a new mix and say, no, this wasn't it, because you need to have certain sound. Well, especially with Jezreel, with his production quality, like he knows how he wants to have things sound, and someone who does mastering can ruin that. So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. Like there have also been times, right, where you already have a good song and you have it mixed and mastered. It doesn't really, sound the way you want it.
Well, here's a fun fact, because I've been doing my mastering for ages,
Mhm.
and then the record label wanted to master one of my new tracks, and so we had it done, and I was like, no, I have a couple of details there that needs to be tweaked. So I remastered the master, and we put that out.
No way, and it's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Of course,
This is
because
super interesting. Yeah.
I know what I'm doing when it comes to mastering.
Yeah.
But indeed, sometimes the label will be like, oh, we don't know.
So you remastered the already mastered file. So did you master the mastered stems, or you just mastered the music file itself?
No, just the 2-track, because with dynamic EQing, I could reach all that
Okay.
I needed in there.
That's super cool. That's super cool. Interesting story. So guys, if you need to master a mastered track, just keep mastering it until you master mastering.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, you need to have some experience there. That's for sure.
Yeah. Super cool. And
And remember what Kuya Luke said,
Yeah.
just because a label doesn't pick up your song doesn't mean it's not a good song.
yeah, so you kind of touched on it, right? So you even recommend for, let's say, songs at this level that they actually just release it and look for that traction by themselves,
Oh,
right?
there's nothing more than a track that goes viral
By itself.
online by itself. So,
Yeah.
for instance, this happened to Avicii Levels.
Oh, okay.
It
yeah.
didn't get signed anywhere until
Really?
it really just spread out in the world. And the beauty is, then when Levels got hype, and see, even I just downloaded it from a website
Really?
somewhere to be able to play it. But then when it's such a hype, all the big labels came out swinging, like with huge amounts of money.
There's a clip of that where Ashpreneur, right? Was on a call with like some huge record label talking about how it was like $3 million or something.
Yeah.
Some crazy. I might be wrong, but some crazy amount.
So I could advise you
Closing
just to
the deal
spread it
models.
everywhere. Try and get everyone to play it. Try and have all the TikTokers put it in their videos, and something's gonna happen there when the quality is there.
Yeah.
That's another thing with Filipino dance music producers, I guess. Why they get demotivated so easily, or why we don't push further or get further. It's because when we release dance music tracks, the rest of the Philippines, they don't really understand what we're trying to release. Especially songs like this, like Jezreel's song. We all find it nice, but he releases it to the public and everyone's like, what is this?
Yeah, but it should not even be the Filipino public. It should be the global public.
Yeah.
And I do believe that there's in Europe, we will get this immediately. We understand this.
There's also a lot about like finding your tribe, right?
Yeah.
It's more of like, who are the people who fuck with your music?
Yeah.
And like, if there are any people that you could work with in there, then cool, right? Now you have more people to send you demos to, and then if any of them happen to be DJs, then it gets played. But even for this specific example, right? So we have a friend who's also a DJ, Tom from Tuason, from La Union, right? So that song that you shared, the Raining in Manila song, so that's a huge pop song here in the Philippines, and we made a remix of it, right? And that's what we've been using for our sets. We never released it, but we sent it to our friends. And for the longest time, we didn't know, we had no idea that Tom was already playing it in one of the cities in the Philippines. That's La Union. It's a beach city nearby. But yeah, and one day we just wake up to TikTok and some random like TV celebrities dancing to it in a club. It went viral in La Union. But even then, right, like this same guy, Tom, wouldn't normally play the music that we normally release, but if he liked the song, right, he's gonna play it in his set. Right? And that's how you start slowly like building like that network of DJs, so you can just send songs to and reach out, even if it's a track that you're releasing by yourself and all of that stuff. So super cool. Unfortunately, we don't have time for the Serrano.
No, come on. I need to hear it.
All right.
We still have going to the hotel.
Oh yeah.
It's
okay,
dark
yeah,
now.
right,
See you in a while.